Hello, I'm Jamie Myland, and today I'm going to show you how you can access Twitter on your Amazon Kindle ebook reader using a new Twitter client called KinTweet. Now, KinTweet has been designed specifically for the Kindle's interface, so let's take a look at it and see how it works. Okay, now let's take a look at KinTweet on the Kindle. First of all, I just need to unlock the device. Okay, and now from the home screen, we can go to Menu, down to Experimental, and then choose Web Browser, Launch Browser. Okay, now my home page here is kinstant.com. It's a an instant start page for the Kindle. It's really handy. It's got links to most of the popular sites that you can use pretty well on the Kindle. But if you can just go up to the top and navigate to KinTweet.com. And there we go. Now, like I say, KinTweet has been designed for the Kindle's browser, really to help with navigation using the limited controls of the device. So if you notice that when you navigate around, you have the jumpy mouse cursor like old mobile phones had, but what we've done here is actually designed it so rather than having to use this, you can use shortcut keys on the keyboard. So for example, if I hit S, it will sign in. U will take me to a sort of an About KinTweet page. We also have an option to switch the language and so on. So if I hit U as an example, and here we go. So as you can see now, you have got sort of About Us and how you can actually use KinTweet. You can navigate easily down the page using the page turn buttons and back to the top. And then if you want to return to the menu, you just press R. And we're back on the home page. Now to sign in, press S. And we're taken to Twitter's authorization page. Now this is the only part of the site that's not optimized for the Kindle, but if you press down while the page is still loading, it should jump straight to the username or email field, and then you can type in your username and password. Now if you have any numbers in your password, it's actually easier, rather than going through the symbol menu to enter numbers, like so, what you can do instead is use the Alt key followed by the top row to quickly enter a number. So for example, Alt Y would give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm just going to type my password in. Okay, so now here we are on KinTweet's main menu. As you can see, there's lots of options down the side, and it's all the things you'd expect to see from a Twitter client, such as post new tweet, look at your latest tweets, see trending topics, direct messages, mentions, favourites, and exit. We also have an option there to switch the language, which just uses Google Translate. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at post and new tweet. So if I hit P, it will take me to the post a tweet page where it automatically puts me in the text box and I can type a message. So sending a tweet from my Kindle. If I press down on the 5-way selector here, the cursor jumps instantly to click to tweet. You can also press down again to cancel if you change your mind and don't want to, but down and then select, and there we go. it's posted. It says at the top, tweet sent successfully. Okay, so now we're back on the main menu, and you can see down here the tweet we just posted. It's just to let you know what your last message you posted was. And our next option is latest tweets. We can have a look at the latest messages timeline. So hit L, and then that will take us through to latest. And here we go. You can see several different messages that are here, and here's the one that I just posted. And if I just scroll down, there we go, you can see all the different messages have a letter next to them. And at the bottom of the page there's also an option to go to the next page. So if I hit W, it will take me to some older tweets. Q and W will take you back and forward through the different pages. Okay, so here we have a post by Robert Scoble. So if I hit E, I can select just that one message. There we go. So you can see his message at the top here. There's a link there which is clickable if I wanted to visit that link. One nice thing about KinTweet is that when you open up a link, it will open it up in the same page. Now, most Twitter clients on the web will actually try to open up in a new window which the Kindle doesn't support. So this will actually work with links, which is handy. You can also see we have options here. So A, to reply. So that will allow me to just reply as standard to the tweet. B, to retweet it. C, adds it to my favourites. D, allows me to send the user a direct message, but that's only enabled if the user is following you. And then E will let you view that user's timeline. So if I press E, it'll take me to Scobalizer's timeline and shows me all the most recent messages that he's posted. And again, I can navigate through that up to 20 pages. Okay, what I'm going to do now is return to the main menu. So I hit R, and from there I'm going to select, let's look at trending topics. Now trending topics should look pretty similar to your latest messages page, but it just takes a second longer to load. Once you're here though, you can see you have a trend at the top, and then underneath that the most recent message posted in that trend. And again, you can select these in the same way you can your latest, and you can reply to them or sort of send that user a message. So let's have a look. If I go to J, there's a trend here, Frodo, and here I see I have lots of options, but I've got an extra option which is follow. So if I hit F, I will now start following that user. So he's been added now to my friends, successfully added to friends at the top. Okay, so the next option is direct messages. So by hitting D, it will take me to the DM page. And here we have two separate pages. There's messages I've received, and by pressing V, I can view the messages that I've sent. So we can select a message on here to reply to via DM, or we can post a new message to a user that we know the username of. So for example, if I go to P, post a new message, I'm going to send a message to a user by typing the user ID in the first box and then the message here. So and then I can click to tweet. And there we go. So that message has now been posted. As well as that, we can go to the mentions menu, and that shows you all of the times you've been mentioned in somebody else's tweet. And that works just the same way as all the other list menus. If I select one here, I could, if I want to, choose to reply to that tweet. So if I hit A to reply, it'll take me through to the post a new tweet page again, but by default it will place a username that I want to reply to in the box, and then I can just type my message and send it back to them in public. Let's say you've posted a message but you've changed your mind about sending it. Now you can have a look at your most recent messages, either by going for the latest tweets menu, or you can always just select your username from the home page. Now you can see here that here's the message that we just posted, and if I select it with A, it will take me through to that message. And now I've only got two options now, so I can either view my timeline or I can delete the message. So if I hit G, it pops up saying delete this message, and then you press select and give it a moment, back to the home page, and the message is gone. Okay, let's have a look at latest tweets. Now, let's say I wanted to favourite this first message here. So if I hit A to select the message, I can then favourite it by pressing C. And now that is added to my favourites. And if I go to the favourites menu by pressing F, and there it is now at the top of my favourites. So let's say I wanted to now remove that from my favourites. Again, by pressing A, it will take me back to that selected message, and then I can press C, and that has been unfavorited. Now, by using the switch language menu, I can enable Google Translate. Now, while this isn't perfect, it will hopefully provide some accessibility for international users. By selecting the language I want from the drop-down menu, let's go for French. The page will then be instantly translated into French. The nice thing is, it's not just the interface that's translated as well. If I go to my latest messages, then once it arrives here, the translation will be applied to this page too. So also, all of the tweets that are in English are then translated into French. And this works for pretty much every single language in Google Translate's functions. And if you want to return to English, you just press O, and it will return to the non-translated version. Finally, if I want to sign out, I can press X, and X will return me back to the sign-in page, all signed out. And that's it, that's KinTweet.